What's up, everyone? A Friday morning discussion with everybody here on the platform. I'm getting ready for work today. Got to get to work here soon, but I wanted to break this down with everybody as we talk about the important and exciting news of the Bill O'Brien hire at Ohio State. So Bill O'Brien's in, Cory Dennis is out, and Brian Hartline is still in here in Columbus. So we're really, really excited to see what's going on. At least I am. That's what I want to do, though, is chat with you guys. This is Scarlet and Great here on YouTube, a platform for Buckeyes fans by Buckeyes fans. We want to chat with you guys. I'm not going to be bringing you news that you probably haven't heard, but we will try to give you different perspectives and then have the conversation. So wherever you're listening from, please leave us a comment below. We'd love to chat with you guys, connect with you guys and everything. My name is Shane Larson. They call me the Gametime Guru. Sometimes they call me the Boise Buckeye because I'm out here in Boise, Idaho, across the country. But I know there's a lot of Buckeyes fans out this way. I know in Arizona, California, even up here in Boise, we've got a handful of them too. So wherever you're tuning in from, let us know. But my name's Shane, just one of the co-founders here on the channel alongside Cory and Johnny. Now, if you listened to the last video that Cory did, you can go back and listen to it if you're new to the channel. But if you didn't listen to it, go check it out. He spoke with Kyle Lamb. It was awesome to see Kyle back on the media platform for talking Buckeyes football. And they bring a little bit of analytics to it because Kyle's always good with data and analytics, and they bring the analytical discussion to the table about the future of Buckeyes football, especially from the offensive side of things. And interesting how this news just broke now regarding the offensive coordinator position. So go check that video out with Cory and Kyle if you can. But today we're going to be talking about Bill O'Brien, hired as the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. Man, it's really exciting for me, but I want to hear what you guys have to say. What are your initial reactions? Please leave us a comment below. I'll tell you mine. Super stoked. Now, some people, I've already heard it already. Like, I've seen comments. I've seen a lot of people apprehensive about it. They say he didn't do well. There's a reason he got fired in the NFL. I saw a comment like that. I just want to remind people of how successful Bill O'Brien has been. And I'm gonna read off of it. If you guys want to check this article out, it's on ESPN.com. I'm going to read this from ESPN just to kind of give you a breakdown of his resume. So he was in the NFL as a head coach for 7 years, from 2014 to 2021, reached the playoffs 4 times, led the Texans to a winning record 5 times. He was fired after they started 0-4 in 2020. So that's why, I mean, he had a pretty successful tenure in the NFL. Okay. But he also has coaching experience in the Big Ten with Penn State. And when he was with New England, just so you understand, he was a quarterbacks coach when Tom Brady won the NFL MVP. Just so you guys know that. I want people to understand that important concept. See, I already remembered that. That's actually one of the few things I do remember about his tenure, because when they hired him and they were putting his name in the discussion here, I wasn't looking necessarily at his NFL experience, because I don't know like what that's going to do for you in the collegiate game besides recruiting and leverage for that side of things. But I do remember that piece of the NFL game is when Brady won the NFL MVP, and I knew he was a quarterbacks coach and that he could develop. So I think it's one of those things that is going to be hugely beneficial for the Buckeyes football program. Him having that experience and being around such top tier talent and understanding what it takes to exceed at like an elite level is going to be huge for the culture at Ohio State. Okay. So I think it's something we were missing. Even Ryan Day was missing it. Like, Ryan Day needed to step aside for a second and give the keys to somebody who has this experience. Okay. I'm not saying it's going to immediately transfer, but I believe it will. I believe Bill O'Brien is the right fit for the job, and people better be ready to come and play. Will Howard or whomever is going to be coming in there. If Devin Brown stays, Lincoln is there, if Air's there, like, it's going to be one of those things where that quarterback's room, the entire offense for that matter, but the quarterback's room specifically, better be coming ready to play, because he's going to probably demand a lot from this program and from those players, because he knows what it takes to be at an elite level, which is exactly where we need to be. Now, the question that came into play was Brian Hartline, what happens with him? So he's going to be the co-offensive coordinator and the wide receivers coach. I still believe that's a perfect spot for Brian. I think Hartline is a fantastic fit. He's a player's coach. He's hugely beneficial for the program. I still believe that. Do I believe he needs to learn a little bit more for the offensive coordinator side of things? Pardon me. Yes, I do. I believe he has a little bit of a learning curve still, and that's okay. That's not a problem. Um, I don't think Day fully let him go at all. I mean, in that regard. So I feel like this is actually going to be massive for Hartline's growth and development. Pardon me while I take a quick drink. My throat's hurting me. But Brian Hartline still there, co-offensive coordinator alongside Bill O'Brien. This is going to be incredible. I think it's a win-win for all of us. And having him there with the wide receivers is going to be massive. I really think that's going to be massive. I think this receiver class, I mean, we know it's wide receiver U, and we have some top talent. Everyone's talking about Marvin Harrison being like, dude, we reload. Okay. We do not, rebuild, we reload. And that's a big difference. When you have a program that can reload year after year after year, rather than rebuild every 3 or 4 years, that is so important. And Brian Hartline's a big reason for that. So I'm excited to see him reload. Now, I mentioned earlier, Cory Dennis is out. Again, I don't like to speak poorly about anybody whose job is getting cut, right? It's affecting somebody's livelihood. And so on this, I try to be a little bit more strategic and tactful when I talk about somebody losing their job. But it does, Bill O'Brien comes in and takes over the quarterback's coaching position. So Cory Dennis, the former quarterback's coach, is now out. Kind of hard to see him staying there, even as like an assistant role in that regard, under the quarterback side of things. If that's his goal, is to continue being a quarterback's coach, it might have been a beneficial thing to have him under Bill O'Brien, kind of watching how that works. But obviously, you don't think there's not a lot you have to say there to explain why that happened, right? We didn't see McCord really improve much throughout the season. I mean, he played well, but he didn't really improve much. And I think it's not that he played terribly. I don't think Cory Dennis is a terrible quarterbacks coach, quite honestly. I really don't. I just think this is one of those situations where Ryan Day is on the hot seat and moves have to be made. Ryan Day is a great coach, but he can feel the pressure here, and the program feels the pressure, and he's got players coming back, and they're expecting to win. So this is massive. And therefore, Cory Dennis, unfortunately, is out. When you have Bill O'Brien in, Cory Dennis goes out. So my question to you guys as we look at this hire of Bill O'Brien, and man, these are some big moves that Ryan Day has made, like big moves. And these are important moves. Like he's a good businessman. I'm telling you that right now. Like Jim Knowles coming over, getting him over here and making that decision, and then putting Bill O'Brien in here. Massive. I mean, there's been some massive changes that have happened, and I'm really impressed with Ryan Day. I want to know, has he won you over? I heard it from the time the Michigan game ended. It only amplified once the Missouri game was going on. But has Ryan Day won you over? Has Ryan Day proven that he's doing the right things to put this team in the right position? I think he has. I think he understands he's humble enough to understand, like, yeah, he needs to step aside, take more of a CEO role, and then navigate that, and let the rest of the guys cook. Let them cook, right? So I want to know. Put a comment down below. Let us know if you think Ryan Day has won you over. Do you think he's made the right moves to make us a competitor and a challenger in 2024? So my question here to end it is, will we win it in 2024? I know it's a little too early to discuss that. I want to remind people we have a new quarterback coming in next year, whoever it is. That's going to be starting, first-year starter for Ohio State, that is. Whoever it is. So keep that in mind. They might be super talented, but it might take a couple of games, right? We have a situation here, new coaching staff, new everything. So be patient with that fact. Might not be clicking on all cylinders from the beginning, but maybe it will. We'll see what the culture is like. But 2024, we introduced the college football playoff extension, right? The expansion, I should say. And I want to remind college football fans, the reality of that is that it's going to be extremely difficult to win a national championship. It's going to be a great opportunity to compete for one, because if you can get in the top 12, you get a chance, and that's why you play the game, right? But anything can happen, and when you're playing in a high-level game like that for a couple weeks straight, the playoffs are going to be amplified. The pressure is going to be amplified. And you might see some upsets. Teams that, probably aren't as good, but they come ready to play, just like you see in the current college football playoff structure. I have a feeling we're going to see that a little bit more in the 12-team playoff expansion. I think it's going to be harder to win, obviously, just because of the pressure that's on. But I do think the Buckeyes have reloaded, and it's theirs to take. But before we even get into a national championship discussion, we have to take care of Michigan. With Michigan, the future of everything up in the air, we have to take care of Michigan. I don't know. I mean, if we could, I always say that if we lose to the team up north and then we win a national championship, was it all worth it? I'd rather just do both, quite honestly. So I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. Great news coming out of Columbus. I got to get to work here in just a little bit, so I'll talk to you guys later. Again, Shane Larson here. This is Scarlet and Great. Hit us with a subscribe or a follow if you want to do that. We'd ask you to consider doing that so we can chat with you guys more and more. We'll be coming to you next time. God bless.